Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, your daily dose of vocabulary enrichment. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Our word of the day is cattle. Cattle is a C1 level noun, and it refers to farm animals, specifically cows, bulls, and oxen, especially when kept for meat or milk. So, when we talk about cattle, we're generally referring to a group of these animals that are raised on a farm or a ranch. It's a collective noun, meaning it refers to a group as a single entity. Now, let's dive deeper into understanding this word and how it's used. Cattle, at its core, represents livestock raised for agricultural purposes. You might hear farmers talking about their cattle herd, or a news report discussing the impact of a disease on local cattle populations. It's a word deeply ingrained in the agricultural industry and often associated with rural life. Let's explore some synonyms for cattle. One synonym is livestock. For example, instead of saying the farmer owns a lot of cattle, you could say the farmer owns a lot of livestock. Another synonym, though slightly broader, is farm animals. You might say, the county fair showcased various farm animals, including cattle. A more specific synonym, though not directly interchangeable in all contexts, could be kine, an archaic word for cows, particularly a group of them. You might encounter it in older literature. Now, let's look at some antonyms. It's a bit tricky to find direct antonyms for cattle since it refers to a specific category of animals. However, we can think of words representing categories outside of farm animals. Wild animals could be considered an antonym in a broader sense. Instead of cattle, which are domesticated, you have wild animals, which live independently in nature. Another contrasting term could be pets. While cattle are raised for commercial purposes, pets are kept for companionship. For example, unlike cattle, which are raised for meat, dogs and cats are often kept as pets. Another contrast might be drawn with poultry, which includes birds like chickens and ducks, often raised on farms, but distinct from cattle. You might say, the farmer raises both cattle and poultry. Now, let's see how cattle is used in everyday life. You might hear someone say, that ranch is known for its high-quality cattle. Or, the price of beef is influenced by the availability of cattle. In conversations about agriculture, food production, or rural economies, cattle is a common and important term. Here are some usage examples in sentences and phrases. The cowboys herded the cattle across the open range. The sound of cattle lowing filled the air. Foot and mouth disease can devastate cattle farms. He made his living raising cattle. The auction featured prize-winning cattle. The farm's primary source of income is from selling cattle. The ranch employed several workers to care for the cattle. The brand on the cattle identified their owner. The rustlers stole cattle from neighboring ranches. Sustainable farming practices can reduce the environmental impact of raising cattle. The drought has significantly affected the cattle industry. Remember, cattle refers to a group of domesticated animals like cows and bulls, usually kept for meat or milk. It's different from wild animals or pets, and it's an important term in agriculture. We also looked at livestock and farm animals as synonyms, and terms like pets and poultry as contrasting ideas. So, there you have it. We've explored the meaning, usage, synonyms, and antonyms of the word cattle. I hope you found this episode helpful and informative. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on our daily vocabulary adventures. And if you enjoy the show, please leave us a review, as your support helps others discover Hello Word. Also, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word cattle and share it in the comments below. I'd love to see how you incorporate it into your vocabulary.